Hi, my name's Alex, if you didn't already know. I promise this video isn't gonna be as hostile as the title. This is a new thing that I wanna do, where it's gonna be called makeup therapy, and we're gonna chat. It's gonna be kind of in the vein of when I did Alex Talks. If you don't know, I started a second channel, and then that just got like really difficult to maintain, and then I couldn't, whatever, it doesn't matter. It ended up being chaos. So we're doing makeup therapy. I'm gonna be doing my base makeup today, and we're just gonna be chatting about, I was gonna say about, I don't do this for you, which as a topic, as a theme, I guess. That's what we're gonna do. So I won't necessarily be talking through every single product, but everything will always be linked down below. Real quick, my skin right now is a mess, and you know why? It's not because I changed my skincare routine. That's all stayed the same. It's because I haven't been eating well, I haven't been sleeping, and I have not been drinking enough water. I know it doesn't look that bad. It's not like the end of the world. It's not completely horrible, but I do have breakouts. I've got a lot more redness than usual, and I've got blackheads, like a lot of blackheads on my nose. So just remember, diet, real important. All those things, real important. I'm starting off with a new primer that I bought that's ridiculously expensive, but somebody recommended this to me like 4 years ago, and 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I don't even know. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it, and I got it, and so I'm gonna use it. So I don't do this for you. This is a conversation I've been having with not everybody, but I feel like I've had it enough, and I've seen it enough talked about on social media. It's kind of this thing that's it's like this unwritten problem that we have for some reason. And this applies to basically every category of life, everything. I'm gonna zoom you out a little bit because that can be distracting when I'm moving around a lot and you're like all up in my grill. I don't do this for you. What that means to me is a decision that someone is making that makes them happy, that doesn't affect anyone else. And for whatever reason, other people feel like it's a personal attack. This happens a lot on the internet, like responses, I guess, of people sort of like having emotional responses or feeling personally attacked by like other people's decisions that really just don't affect other people at all. I don't know if you guys follow Lizzo on TikTok. I've been so obsessed with her TikTok. She just speaks truth. I don't know how anyone could not like Lizzo. I don't know if you guys saw that over the holidays. She did, she was on, what's his name? Seth Meyers, is that him? Seth Meyers? Apparently he has this like YouTube show, at least I think I saw it on YouTube, where he like gets drunk with celebrities during the day. I think it's called Day Drinking with Seth or something like that. Anyway, she did it. It was like the funniest thing I've ever seen. I was cracking up the whole time. Like she's just like a good fucking time.
Also, Lizzo wants to say something.
Bye, bitch. Why did you hang up?
She obviously makes a lot of videos about, honestly, I was gonna say body positivity, but honestly, all it is just like being a person. Just being a fucking person, you know? Kind of responses to like comments that you receive, or that she receives, I mean. But I'm kind of lumping everybody into that because we're all on social media and we're all experiencing like comments in different quantities, I guess, and qualities. Obviously, if you put yourself out there, you know, to a large group, you're like a public figure or whatever. Like Lizzo is receiving a lot more negativity and positivity than like the average person who's on social media or interacting with social media. So the first conversation that I had that led to me thinking about this a lot, matcha break, was makeup, obviously. Go figure. Some people will leave me comments about like asking me to, or asking my opinions on like certain techniques that people will use, or asking me to respond to like something that they think is bad, that they think I'll think is bad. That, I feel like that was such a confusing way of explaining it. But what I mean by that is, for example, if you take like a person who doesn't wear a lot of makeup, maybe they just do the minimum, bare minimum, you know, something a little bit like light and fresh just to like brighten up their features. They go into a store, their cashier is like beat, okay? Like lashes, nails, highlight to the gods. I'm talking Trixie Mattel status, you know what I mean? All of it. And the natural makeup person is like, oh, that looks bad and she shouldn't do that. Or they shouldn't do that. I get comments from those kinds of people, those people who like are making comments about people who wear like a lot of makeup, that do the most. And they're like, that looks bad, they shouldn't do that. You should do videos geared towards those people to teach them how to look more natural. I think that's funny because that person, that cashier, might be looking at you, man or woman, who just does like the bare minimum, wants like a natural highlight, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, just a little zhuzh, and thinking, bitch is boring. This bitch is boring. She needs more. She needs big lashes, big eyebrows, like all that shit. It's just like subjective. It's so subjective. And when it doesn't affect you personally, I don't understand feeling like everyone else has to live their life the way that you do, I guess. I don't do this for you, basically, is what I'm saying. And this is not me. This isn't me, really. I mean, I do get comments about like, you should do this or this looks bad or whatever, but like, I just see it so much in the interaction online, mostly. What foundation do I want to use? I kind of feel like it's a Lisa Eldridge day. Oh my God, this is so heavy. Oh, Jesus. This is a box. It's so heavy, I have to put it down. Oh my God. That's a box of makeup that I need to organize. I don't even know how I found this in there. So one of the questions that I have for you guys is, do you experience this? And who do you experience it from? Do you experience it online? Do you experience it in person? And do you have those thoughts? And if you do have those thoughts, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think it's kind of normal to start off in life, especially if you're younger, to start off in life with your opinions kind of like as your guide, you know? And you kind of have to have like more life experience and meet more people and in general to change it. Okay. To kind of like adjust and learn and change those opinions, or just realize that like your opinion isn't everything. It's really not. I was watching I might have actually talked about this or mentioned this at some point already, but I was watching some video, some podcast. I can't remember who it was, but I was watching some podcast and somebody said, I think it was the guest, whoever the guest was, I truly don't remember, said the sooner, this is going to be like paraphrasing because I truly do not remember the exact wording, but essentially the message was, the sooner you start thinking of people as different and not better or worse, the better life is going to be, the happier you'll be, the better your relationships will be. That was essentially the message. And I've been thinking about that ever since. Because if you think about it, if seeing something that you don't like, if you see somebody wearing makeup that you don't like, say maybe they've got like block brows, like super blocked, and that really just like bothers you so much to the point that you have an emotional response to it, it has total control over you. Like that thing, the fact that you're having an emotional response, the fact that you like hate it that much, that it's making you feel a certain way, means it has complete control. You don't have any control over your emotions. It does. You know what I mean? Damn, dude, this is such a good foundation. I forgot. Lisa, forgive me. I forgot. I think one of the reasons that I feel so strongly about this is because I feel like I used to be one of those people for like the majority of my life. I thought that like my opinion was the only one. It was the only one. And that's just like such a stupid way of going about life. It's just like, it's rude. And also it just kind of sets you up for misery, you know? Because obviously your opinion is not the only one. Duh. It really took for me just getting out of my bubble and experiencing more life and just like different people and having more experiences in general and learning that that's not the case. It's not the case. And like that person said, the sooner you accept that, the happier you're going to be. It's kind of like just that cliche of if everybody was exactly the same, if everybody was doing what you were doing, life would be so fucking boring. Like, so fucking boring. You know? If everybody was just wearing like natural, like no makeup looks, so boring. So boring. How boring would the world be without Trixie Mattel, is basically what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? And this obviously like extends way beyond, well beyond, well. What do they say? Brits always say like, he's well mad. I love that. I don't know if that's a good example, but well something. Well beyond makeup, obviously. But this is like the first kind of topic that got me really thinking about it. Was just like, it's truly something that affects you. Like my makeup, to get like defensive, my makeup affects you. Well, that's not entirely true, because I do have a YouTube channel, so I'm like teaching you stuff. So my makeup kind of does affect you a little bit. I'm a bad example. Sarah, who works at Trader Joe's, her makeup does not affect you. Even a little bit. Like, you have to look at it, I guess, if you happen to go into the store, but if it really drives you that insane, you can go to a different line. I started this talking about Lizzo. I watched this TikTok where she was just like talking about all the different comments that she receives, like a lot of comments obviously about her body, and she was like, people are saying like, oh, I can't believe that you like lost weight, or oh, I can't, like, you need to lose weight, you're so big, or I can't remember what all of the, just those two in general are just like hilarious that she would be receiving those two comments at the exact same time. It's just kind of crazy, and it's sort of always been this thing, especially with women in entertainment. It's like, she's too fat, she's too skinny, all this speculation, she's eating her feelings, she's on drugs, like all this crazy shit. And it's just like, she was funny. She was like, are you guys okay? Like, are you okay? Like, how are those the comments? And it was like, I mean, she made a lot of really good points. It was also, you could tell like a video of frustration where it's just like, because it's a larger conversation that we've spoken about before, which is the people who are leaving those comments are always like that minority of really angry people. They don't represent the majority of the world, even though she's seeing it on such a large scale. Just like proportionally, it's still a very minuscule amount of people. That's the thing that's like so important to keep reminding yourself, is not everybody out there is crazy. You know what I mean? Like when you're out and about in the world, that's kind of what made me like start thinking about this, is like, if you're in, oh dude, I have the craziest story about this like angry old lady at my nail salon. I'll save it. Remind me. If I don't put it in this video, remind me, because it's so funny and very frustrating. What was I saying? Oh, in person, you run into those situations far less. Like, it's just not something that really happens, you know? People are not constantly walking up to other people and saying, you're too fat, you're too thin, your makeup is too heavy, or whatever. Like, that's just not something that happens for the most part, you know? I'm sure it happens, but it's not the norm. So you kind of always have to go back to like, what do I experience when I leave the house? I just realized that my dishwasher's been running, and you might be able to hear that in the background, so it could be potentially annoying, but it's also raining, and like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Kind of soothing. I think one of the biggest things that bothers me is that people still think, I'm talking to women and like females and males right now, people still think that women do their makeup to attract men. And that drives me so insane. I don't really give a fuck what the history of makeup is, how or why we started wearing it. I know no one can take me seriously when I look like a little clown like this. I just looked in the monitor and I'm like, bro, you're looking in a mirror. You don't need to look in the monitor. I look cute though, cute as fuck. Anyway, I don't care about the history. I don't care if we like started wearing it to look a certain way. I don't care about all of those like philosophical arguments. Things evolve and change. And now the majority of people, I would say, are not applying makeup to attract males. They're doing it because they like it. Okay? It could be to cover up shit. It could be, you know what? My skin is breaking out really bad. I don't like that. I don't want everybody out there to see it. Not just men. Fucking whatever. It's like everybody. Okay? God, that pisses me off so bad. I know my boyfriend prefers me the way that I just look. You know what I mean? Like, he likes my makeup. He likes it when I'm like when I wear more natural makeup. That's fine. I'm not doing my crazy black smoky eyes, okay? And putting jewels all over my fucking face for him. I do it for me, okay? Fuck. That is one of the most annoying things because you see so many comments from men who are like, she doesn't need this much makeup. I get that a lot. You don't need this much makeup. I get this from women too. You're so beautiful without makeup. You don't need this much. And it's like, bitch, I know I don't need this much, okay? I'm putting it on because I like it. I know I don't need to do this. I don't need to do the clown contour. I think it's fucking cute and I like it and I'm gonna do it, all right? Because I like it, because I want to. When I first moved to LA, I was really into super dead colors, like super smoky, dead colors. I loved like a gray taupe. Loved it. Lip, like a gray taupe lip. So fun. Okay, I was really into like borderline like goth shit. Really, really deep red, smoky eyes. One of my favorite things to do was to make my inner corner bright red. And I would go to the mall like that. Okay. Just basic shit, run my errands, go to the post office. I definitely was not doing that and I was single. I was single for like, I don't know how many years I was single when I moved to LA, but it was like a good portion, good half maybe? No, a little less than half now. I wasn't doing it to attract men. I wasn't wearing that. I wasn't putting that bright red inner corner to attract men. I did it. You know what? I did it because I fucking liked it. And the best was when another makeup wearer would come up to me and be like, that is the sickest red I've ever seen. What is it? That's the best fucking part. It's like you're attracting people who have the same interests as you, you know? It's a way of building community. That's the validation that I want. I want validation from people who love the same shit as me and I can share my knowledge with. And we can gush over fucking Makeup Forever was it 86? M186? Shit, I can't remember, but that was like the best red back in the day. I used to use that all the time. It was like this really, really deep, like blood burgundy red. So good. On basically every date that I ever went out on, I wore pretty natural looking makeup because it was just like a little something, but I wanted to look like me, you know? I wasn't wearing the smoky eyes that I don't know, a deep, like a black lipstick or super smoky foiled eyes. Now, some people are gonna do that. They're gonna go out on a date and they're gonna be full beat. And that's because that's who they are, okay? They're not doing that. They're not doing the full beat to attract the opposite sex. They're doing it because that's who they are. It's as fucking simple as that, bro. I guess this video did get a little hostile. I know people in my life who've made massive life decisions, life-changing decisions based on other people's opinions or like one comment that someone else made. And it's just like, it makes me sad. It's sad because I hate the idea of someone making a decision that changes their life completely because of something someone else said that literally has nothing to do with them at all. Those opinions shouldn't matter. This is so disturbing. I'm so upset about it. That's another thing. I used to care so much. I mean, I still fucking do. It's not like it just goes away, like that you just stop caring about what other people think or worrying about what other people think. I'm not saying that you should just do whatever and like fuck everybody else, you know? Like, obviously friends, people who are close to you, you know, it's a different story if you're exhibiting self-destructing behaviors and everyone who you love in your life is like, this is a problem, and you're like, fuck you, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like that's not what I'm condoning right now. But I would say that if everyone in your life is like, you should stop wearing blue lipstick, fuck them, wear the blue lipstick. You know what I mean? That I'll stand by. I'm trying to think like, what am I trying to achieve with this video right now? Like, what's the goal here? Because I think we've all already decided that trying to reach the people who are making those comments, just about moot. Like, there really isn't that getting through. Maybe there is, but I think it's not gonna happen on a large scale. I think it's gonna happen in like interpersonal relationships. If you know if you personally know if your sister is getting online and just like talking a bunch of shit to people, you have an easier time being like, what's the name? Jess, Sarah, Jess. I'm going for like the most common names. Jess, quit being such a dick to people online. Like, why are you doing this? You know that person, you know how to like approach them more easily. Probably not just by being like, stop being a dick, don't do this or whatever. None of those people are gonna listen to me. I don't think it's gonna register. Unless for whatever reason they like me as a person, then I might be able to like get through. I just don't think it's gonna happen on like this kind of a scale. I don't think a YouTuber is gonna like change that. But so for that reason, I think it's important to just kind of like remind people that like those things don't fucking matter. Like they just don't. Like if someone's opinion is really affecting you like that, especially about something that like has nothing to do with them, doesn't affect them in the slightest in a negative way, then I don't want you to worry about it. I kind of feel like that really expensive primer is life-changing. But I don't know. Well, I don't know. You know what the biggest thing is? Constructive criticism. It's not how you say it. Sorry. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. That's the biggest thing. And that's like a thing that's a lot easier to do when you're speaking to someone that you know personally, because you know them. You're going to be a lot less judgmental because maybe you grew up with them, maybe you went to school together, maybe they're your cousin, and you know where they're coming from, you know their life experiences. So you're going to have a lot more compassion for that person. And if they fuck up, or if they do something that you don't necessarily like approve of, you're just going to be a lot more lenient because you know them personally. With the internet, with celebrities like Lizzo, you're just like viewing whatever is there. You might be taking in like 0.002% of who this person is, if that. And so something that they say might trigger this like, I don't know, emotional response in you. And then as a human who is essentially an animal and filling in all of the gaps, you're like piecing together puzzles and like answering questions with answers that they're not the actual answers. It's just like your brain coming up with it, which leads you to making conclusions. I say you, I'm saying you a lot. Us, it's just us. You know, it's one of those things that like, what was I saying? Conclusions and assumptions that aren't actually factual, but our brains have just led us there. Like that's where the puzzle has kind of like, you know, finished, I guess. And it's a normal thing. It's like a very human thing. It's totally normal. It's not like a weird thing. You have to like constantly remind yourself of these things so that you don't do them, you know, actively. I would love if any of you are kind of like, I don't know, in a situation in real life where you're dealing with that. I feel like it's usually a family member, you know, who can be judgmental. Maybe they see you a certain way, or they're being very judgmental of like life choices that you're making, or because that's the other thing about like, you know, real life and the people close to you, because they know you. Sometimes they feel a little more entitled to be harsh with you. I know that's how I am. I'm very direct. So especially if someone is asking me my opinion, I'm not gonna fucking lie. I'm gonna be like, this is fucked up. You know, try not to be a dick about it, but you feel a little bit more comfortable doing it with someone that you know personally. So if any of you are kind of like in that situation right now, maybe it's like with a parent or, I don't know, an aunt or something, whatever, someone, could be a friend, and you're comfortable sharing, you don't have to like share details or anything, I would love to hear it. You know, another thing that I would kind of like to do for the series is, because I don't think I can just like sit here and talk to myself the whole time about like random shit. I would love if people, maybe I'll make a Google form or something that you can submit shit to, and we could do like a response or advice type situation. I don't know. It's something I'm trying. I just like the idea of makeup as therapy, if I could combine the two in some way. For me, sitting down and doing my makeup is incredibly meditative. It's the only thing I'm focused on. I like to sometimes listen to music or have like a podcast going in the background, you know, to listen to, but I'm 100% focused on me. And that is just like therapeutic. I'm not on my phone. I'm not like worried about work because this takes all of my energy, all of my focus. I always say that it's really hard actually to talk through doing my makeup. It is, it's like very difficult for me. This is actually very difficult to like do this and this at the same time. It's really difficult. But I wanted to make these videos because a lot of you were asking for longer content. And I know that a lot of people like to listen to something while they get ready. So I just kind of figured we would like chat and get ready together. I'm happy with this base. It's a good base. I guess I'll do some spot concealing while we're here. It's probably pretty obvious to you guys, but one of the things that has become like really important to me and just like more of an interest over all of these years of being on social media and obviously in the beauty space is just kind of like the internet and social media and how it's affected our psychology. I know I've said it before, but that really has just become like such an interest of mine. And I think that it's something that needs to be studied more. And I think it's something that we need to talk about more. And I would like to do that with you guys if you're interested. And if you get sick of it, you can just be like, we're over it. Ooh, speaking of constructive criticism, I do take it very well. I think I appreciate your feedback, especially the people who are giving actual constructive criticism. Like if you're just saying like, you suck, stop doing this, probably not gonna take that too well. Feel like you should expect that, but if you're giving me real constructive criticism, super appreciate that. Which kind of brings me back to it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It was actually, I think in 2020 over the pandemic, I had some interactions with commenters and they provided me with some constructive criticism. This happened like on multiple occasions, just around like various topics. So I'm gonna keep it kind of vague, but I think at least twice that like stuck with me. They made really good observations and constructive criticisms that like made me change the way that I thought. It totally changed everything about the way that I thought. And it provided me with a very new perspective that I hadn't considered. And we had like a really productive conversation in the comments rather than like someone just being critical and like us fighting or whatever. It was really nice. So that's also something that like, sometimes it's hard, but like I also try when I receive like kind of a dickish comment to engage the person sometimes, really depends on my mood, to see like, is this just like a quick off the cuff response? And are you like actually a rational person? And are you providing me with good feedback? But like you just didn't start it off that way. I kind of feel like that's the way that you have to interact with the internet and people's opinions. Try not to like, if someone else, the other person is like freaking out and having some kind of like emotional response, it's usually for a reason that has only to do with them. And it only escalates and gets worse if you respond in the same way. But if you take a second and then think about it and are rational with your response, usually it ends up being like more of a positive outcome. And if they just like are a dick, they're a dick. There's dicks out there, you know what I mean? I'm pretty happy with this base. It's like pretty legit. I mean, considering like when I sat down, I really felt bad about my skin, but I'm feeling pretty good. I'm gonna do some very, very, very light setting. I discovered a fitness YouTuber recently. I guess you would call her that, a fitness YouTuber. Natcha
Océane.
Océane.
Wrong. C.
Si.
C.
She does like a bunch of crazy like challenges and stuff. She is just a fucking bundle of positivity. And I love her. She's like the cutest fucking thing. She has this thing where she like starts to laugh and her voice goes a little bit into falsetto. It's like the cutest little thing. I just fucking love it. Anyway, I found one of her videos recently. I don't even remember which one it was that I watched first, but I've been watching a few of them. She's very thorough and I appreciate that. If you're interested and you're looking for somebody positive who's like talking about like fitness mostly, fitness and like kind of diet, sort of. I would highly recommend her. I'll link her channel down below, but I'm obsessed with her. Like, I just think she's the cutest thing. And she's like inspired me because my default is very negative. I get very negative about myself and things in general. This morning I was like, I am a positive bitch. I'm a fucking positive bitch. I'm fucking positive. I don't know if it's working. Sometimes when I film videos recently, I'll take little notes, I'll write them down, and I'll have like a little bit of an outline. You can tell when I've done that because I don't swear as much. I've noticed. When I have a video like outlined and I kind of like go through bullet points, I don't say fuck as much. I didn't do that this time. Just saying. I think a misconception that a lot of people have about the idea of, I don't do this for you, this isn't for you, it's for me, is that it has to be kind of like selfish. I think the idea of being, wait, fuck. Were they just talking about this? Okay, Caroline Winkler, bitch. Hi, that sounds weird. Okay, out of context, that sounded rude. Caroline and I have been chatting. She's a fave. I love her so much. I've talked about her channel before. Obsessed, gonna link it again. Highly recommend. You're gonna love her. She started a podcast with a friend. They are very entertaining. I'm obsessed with it. I think they were just talking about this. And now I've completely lost my train of thought. What the fuck was I just talking about? Oh, the idea of selfish. Was this them? The idea of selfishness being a bad thing. I thought that was really interesting. Like that kind of perspective. The idea of thinking, I don't do this for you, as selfish and therefore negative, I think is so funny. And I think it's something that's changing a little bit by bit. We're kind of like redefining what selfish means in a good way. Because I don't think that I don't do this for you has to be a negative thing or like particularly selfish, and if it is considered selfish, I don't think it's in a bad way. Because the idea of thinking that it's selfish or bad, therefore bad, I think prevents a lot of people from practicing it, which prevents them from fully like putting themselves first. I don't think putting yourself first is not like a horrible thing. It's really not. Listen, I get it if you're a parent and you have like a bunch of kids. It's a lot harder to put yourself first, right? But just as a concept, putting yourself first, you know, there's that old like adage, I guess you could call that an adage. You can't love somebody if you don't love yourself or something like that. Like if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of other people. It's true. Like you really can't. Or at least it makes it a hell of a lot more difficult. I'm trying this new brow wax from Benefit. I've used it a couple times and I think I'm a fan. I feel like Benefit and I just kind of like parted ways, like went our separate ways. Like I found my soap, I found my NYX brow tint pen. I just haven't really been using Benefit in such a long time. But I recently got this in the mail and I think I might be obsessed with it. I think I might be obsessed. It's like pretty fucking good, dude. Anyway, I just kind of feel like that idea of like not doing this for other people, I don't do this for you, that concept. People either don't partake because they feel like guilty about being selfish, or just leave them like that, or they're just like greatly influenced by the negative opinions of other people. And that's the thing that I really, really want people to let go of. If you have that problem, it's so important that you let go of it. And it's hard. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen immediately. I'm not going to be able to just lay like, just don't care about other people's opinions. And you're going to be like, oh, okay, I'm enlightened now. I'm just going to live my life. But hopefully hearing this today makes you a little bit more aware if those are problems that you have. Sometimes you just need someone to verbalize it before you can recognize that it's something that you're doing, you know? It gets a little crusty. Just a little bit crusty. I don't know if you can see that really. Like when it starts to get a little thicker and dry down more. But I don't know, I think I might have worked it a little too long. But yeah, fluff. I fucked up putting the eyeshadow primer underneath my eyes. It's just kind of making them look really crepey and dry, but you know, you can't win them all. I'm gonna put eyeshadow there anyway, so it'll hopefully be fine. Okay, I have this other brow product that I wanna try. This is the Wonder Skin Wonder Blading brow thing. I don't know, it's got like a brush. Okay. I don't know if you, like, I don't know, I threw away the materials. I'm such a fucking, I have a bad habit of just like not reading the instructions. It comes with a little brush though, and a spoolie. I think I'm just gonna dip this little angled brush into this and then kind of like draw it on. I don't even know. I'll just have to like look up what the point of it is. I'm worried it's gonna be too warm. I also don't know if I should have done this before. Ooh, that looks warm. Oh God, that looks really warm. I don't know. I like almost just didn't do this because I was like, I'm not gonna like this, but I wanted to try it. But now I'm feeling like this wasn't the right way to try it. I think it's supposed to be like a brow stain or something. I don't really know why it's called blading because the brush itself isn't particularly thin. Like it's not the thinnest brush I've ever seen. Like it's basically just a color underneath my brow hairs. I don't know. But I'm probably using it wrong. I hate it. I hate it. Ugh, I hate it. Okay. I'm gonna brush this shit out. It's already ruined, kind of ruined the Benefit product a little bit. So I'm just gonna brush it out and then probably go in with a pen. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I don't know. I don't know. I should probably look up how to actually use it and then I'll maybe give it another shot some other time. Dude, speaking of Natcha Océane, she looks exactly like Carissa Poukas. I like couldn't get over it. I was like, this is Carissa Poukas. Does anybody else see that? If you know her, like if you know of both of them, please let me know. Cause I was just like, I just can't get it. Every time I watch her, I'm just like, you're Carissa Poukas, I'm pretty sure. While I throw down some finishing touches, I just want to wrap this shit up. I think it's important. I think it's very important that you remember that if there's something that you really love, especially if it's some kind of like self-expression, don't worry about what other people are gonna think. Just do it. Just do it. If you want to wear black lipstick to high school, do it. Man, I went to a, not high school, but middle school. Well, like elementary through middle school, I went to a Catholic school. I wish I wore black lipstick. We weren't allowed to wear makeup, but we all wore makeup. And if by any chance you're one of those people who thinks that your opinion, just the sun rises and sets on it, try to keep in mind that like those things that you hate so much have so much control over you, like way more than you think they do. They have almost all the control. And if you can reach a point where you can let that go and you don't have that emotional response when you see Lizzo wearing whatever the fuck she wants to wear, or the fucking receptionist at the bank, is that what they're called? Teller at the bank, you know? Wearing the thickest Amy Winehouse wing ever when you really don't like makeup, you're gonna be a lot happier. When you start to appreciate the differences in people, because you don't have to do it. I kind of feel like I'm incapable of doing a full beat nowadays. It's almost impossible for me to not create very natural looking skin. Like even if I don't want to, it just happens. So different than how I used to be. How do you feel about me going lavender with my hair? Sarah has wanted to do that to my hair for so long, and I feel like I should finally let her. I'm also thinking about growing my pixie a little bit. Just like a longer pixie. Thoughts? All right, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope that I got through to some people, or maybe at least made some people feel like a little bit better and like they can not feel so bad about putting themselves first or the things that they enjoy first. Again, if you're in a real life situation, I would love for you to leave it in the comments if you're comfortable talking about it. I'm gonna work on creating a Google form. Maybe I'll do a new one each video, I don't know, that you can submit if you have like a particular problem, a particular question. I would like it to be, I don't want it to just be makeup questions. I want it to be like, we can do that in other videos. I want it to be more like a situation that you're in or something that you're struggling with, and maybe we can just kind of talk about it as a community. Because I have a fucking dope ass community. You guys are all like emotionally mature, and every time I receive like a very, very long comment, it's like life-changing. There's like incredible perspectives, and I always really appreciate your feedback. Whether it's about me or if it's just a story or if it's like some kind of introspection that you're sharing, always appreciated. So if you're comfortable, please feel free to leave that in the comments and let me know how you want this series to evolve. If you like this format, any suggestions are welcome. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon. Bye.